Welcome to Storytelling. This week's guest is an internationally awarded model, movement artist and published muse whose work bridges fine art, photography and dance. Trained at the prestigious Paris Opera Ballet School and a former member with Cirque du Soleil, she brings grace, precision and theatrical depth to every frame. She has travelled to over 87 countries, published 5 fine art photo books, and appeared on the covers of international magazines and been immortalized in bronze sculptures such as Little Sister by Basil Watson. With multiple international accolades and a global following of over 100,000, she has built a 6-figure creative career rooted in authenticity, independence, and timeless storytelling. Please welcome Laetitia Bouffard-Roupé. Hello, Laetitia, and welcome to the podcast.
Well, thank you for having me.
Laetitia, you started ballet at the age of 3. What are your earliest memories of dancing?
I remember how I loved to go to the ballet classes because I was meeting with my other friends and we got to dance together, and it was just so much fun as a little girl to just be. It was more like a play, like a game when I started. But yeah, it got really serious when I moved to Paris Opera Ballet School, and then it was on another level. But it was also fun, but it was way more discipline and way harder there.
So what did it feel like to be spotted and to be selected to attend the Paris Opera Ballet School?
Yes, it's quite a thing. It's a whole 2 full-day process to go through the audition. In my year, we had 600 little girls that showed up, and we knew that there would be only 12 spots. So it was a hard selection at the young age already. And but yeah, I made it through.
They made you aware of weight issues during your time there. How did that make you feel?
Not good, because I clearly wasn't fat, wasn't overweight. I was actually at the time, I remember, meter 35 and 25 kilo. That was like the ratio that was needed to enter, and I matched what they wanted. But once you got there, then you are weighted weekly. And also they check your height weekly, like how you grow. And if they decide that you are overweight, then you are on the watch list for catering. So when you have your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, then you don't get the same food like everybody. So you get like steamed food instead of panned food. You get the fruit instead of getting the pain au chocolat. You get water instead of juices, like all these kind of shifts. Yeah, so you're on a lower calorie diet.
And then you went on to dance professionally.
Yes, so after school, my first ballet company was the Ballet of Nancy. So that's in France. And I did 1 year there as corps de ballet. And this company didn't really fit me in terms of the repertory. So I decided to move on after the first year. And I auditioned for a ballet company in Austria, near Vienna, where I had a terrible experience with, in that time, my ex-boyfriend. We were a couple and we were both professional ballet dancers, and we applied and got both the contract. And and the director just didn't want to keep him as part of the company and wanted to be with me. So it was an issue when it came to stay there and dance there, as that was not the plan. And I actually lost my heart for ballet in that situation because it was not anymore about being talented or being professional to dance. It was more about who you sleep with and who you're mingling with to get the roles. So at that time, I decided to move on with ballet because I didn't want to struggle with that my whole career. I could see that it was a recurring thing in the ballet world. And that talent will not give you the role. It was more about the side story and who you know and who you mingle with.
So, what happened after that journey when you decided, okay, I want to move on from ballet?
The problem is that I left the company in the middle of the season. And usually when the season starts, it's hard to find something else. And so what I did is I kept training, but I did ballet competitions to get more awards and to reach more directors. But I gave up. I did win the competitions, but the offers were not what I wanted. And I realized that I will not find myself as an artist being in a ballet company, and I needed to go freelance. I could not find myself in a group space dancing, and also the choreographers. I couldn't find a company that was matching what I wanted to express. So I moved on freelance, and actually I completely changed my trajectory as an artist, and I moved on into the circus world and to acrobatics. So that was quite a shift from ballet. So I did ground acrobatics and aerial acrobatics with silks and hoops. And there I found my creativity. There I found the way how I could really express myself, where I could create my own choreography, create my own costumes, choose my musics, and really feel the movement I wanted to do instead of being told what to do by choreographers. Yeah, the circus was really gave me that freedom to express myself as an artist.
And what advice would you have given to your younger self in terms of being in that ballet world and having this extraordinary transition into the circus world?
What I will tell my younger self, I think I would do what I did, like to really listen to my heart and to don't be influenced by all the others around and because it's in the ballet world, it's taken as normal to be, let's say, sleeping with a director or to be doing things like that. It's part of the game. I'm quite proud as when I was little that I already could take this kind of decision of not following the pattern, not a healthy one.
Tell me about some of the health side effects of your ballet career, because you picked up a number of injuries along the way.
Yes. My weak point when I was dancing and still as an acrobat have always been my hips. I always had tendonitis in my hips, a problem with my hips. And actually, 2 years ago, I paid badly for it. I had to go through a full hip replacement, my left hip. And this has been a very traumatic experience for me because all my life I have just strengthened my body and stretched my body. I was always on an up curve while training. And I never had actually an injury. I never broke a bone, never twisted an ankle, never fell down through all my career until 2 years ago when I actually stopped performing. And then, the cartilage completely worn out, and I was in extreme pain and had to go through it. So, no pain, no gain, like they say.
So tell me about some of the things you're doing now, because you've expanded your repertoire even further now.
Yeah, so now I'm rebranded myself. I would say the third rebranding was into photography and modeling. So now I used all my skills from ballet, from acrobatics. Also, I forgot to say in between, I'm a yoga teacher too and personal trainer. So also I use my yoga skills and fitness skills to pose for art photography. And I must say that I feel like now I am at the peak of my artist life and my creativity, because with each photographer, I really get to create unique photos at every photo shoot, because every photographer have different perspectives, different views, different lighting, different lens and ideas about outfits, about styling. So it is an extremely creative process and it's very fulfilling to be still creating without being on stage and share that with the world through social media, through prints, through books, through many mediums.
But that's completely amazing. And you've talked about that transition and how that's made you feel more creative. What would you say the main difference is between what you were doing previously to what you are doing now? What do you say the main things you really take to heart from it?
I feel that with the photography, it's more of a collaborative creative process, because when I was by myself on stage, I had an idea and I had a message and I was just delivering it to an audience. Where now, to create, I am creating with another person too. So every photo shoot, there is this exchange of creativity and back and forth of ideas, and it's building up. So every day, every time I'm like in communication with a photographer, there is a new creative process starting from scratch, and we get to create something unique at every photo shoot.
So there's something that happened last year, because there was a sculpture made of yourself. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, it was quite a big milestone for me. A new way to be showing my posing and my art. So I did a collaboration in Atlanta, USA, with a quite famous sculptor, Basil Watson. And I am now timeless, like he said that, because I am sculpted. We created the sculpture. I called it my little sister, because I don't have siblings, but when I saw her, I felt like this was like a mini me, and I called it my little sister. And it's a limited edition of 8 only, and it's made out of bronze. And actually, this year I went back to Atlanta, and we did my little sister too. So I have 2 sculptures now. The second one now is still in the process of being bronzed. It's not yet. It's still in clay. And yes, it's a new path now for me to also not work only with photographers, but also work with painters and sculptors.
So with your achievements across ballet, acrobatics, yoga, as you've mentioned, modeling and art, how do you define success for yourself today?
I think I feel the success when I get to inspire or motivate someone. Like when I get messages on Instagram of somebody just telling me, wow, you inspired me to start photography, or you inspired me to restart ballet, or things like that. Yeah, and they make my heart feel warm, and I feel like I've accomplished my goal to inspire and motivate people.
You've reinvented yourself multiple times. What's next for you?
What's next? I feel like now my path is to share my knowledge and to help other artists and aspiring models to create the successful life I have managed to through photography. So I have created something that called Art Model Academy, where I teach aspiring models and artists to become freelance traveling models. And I help them with communication with photographers, with marketing, with branding, with all the business side there is to being a successful freelance model. And yes, I really have a passion also in marketing. It's one thing which I really enjoyed since I was a dancer.
And one thing that really shines through is your resilience to get through whatever scenario is presented in front of you. And I think that shows very strongly in your journey. What would you say are those main values? Because you talk about the values that you held when you were going through the difficulties of ballet, and you talked about the values for your transition into the circus field. What would you say those values are, and something that people should consider when they're going through an aspect of their own career?
Strong values for me are honesty and being your true self, like not faking an identity, like being really authentic. Like on social media, I see that a lot. So many girls are faking a personality just to please their audience. I think as a model, it's not something that works, because at the end of the day, when you meet the photographer one-on-one, they're going to figure out who you really are. And being authentic with your audience and your fans is so important for the long-term relationship of a business. And in real life too, like just being authentic. It's really important, I think.
Laetitia, can you tell me about your upcoming book?
So this is my 5th art book. It calls Unseen. Why it calls Unseen? Because it's only featuring photos that have never been published before. It's featuring 56 international photographers and about 209 photos, colors and black and white, outdoor photography, indoor photography, studio photography. So it's a very broad range of photography. Also light painting, flashes, natural light, all kind of photographies are really featured in that book. And it's been already shipped to 21 countries. So I'm quite happy about that. It's spreading around the world, and that's the goal of it. It's to spread art and inspire in any way, because it's not only photos, it's not only for the visuals. I also did write text in it, inspiring quotes and with unique stories that happen at some of the photo shoots which are featured in it. So yes, it's meant to motivate and inspire visually and mentally.
You mentioned that you've worked with photographers internationally, And you previously mentioned that it's important to have a good rapport and to be authentic with the photographers that you're working with as well. What would you say are the main things that you've learned along your journey? Because some of the poses that you do, you've taken a lot of those poses from your ballet and your acrobatic world. What would you say are the main things that you've learned that you've taken away and you've brought to these photographs?
I learned a lot about photography. It taught me actually so much in a way. It showed me aspects of me, personalities that I had that I didn't even know I had. I discovered myself through photography a lot, because in the ballet world, you are so into yourself and you keep inside. They don't want you to express what you really feel. You have to express what they want you to feel, but you're never really allowed to express how you really feel. And in photography, you have to, for a photo to be genuine and to have an impact, you really have to express your feelings. And through photography, I discovered that aspect of my personality. I didn't know all those aspects until photographers, they actually helped me to dig deeper and to let those emotions out, and they capture them during the photo shoot. So this is something which is priceless, because it's like a phototherapy a little bit.
I think your photographers have been held at exhibitions as well, haven't they, in the past?
Yes, a lot of them are art galleries around the world. Miami, London, Barcelona, Norway. A lot of my photos have been exhibited in art galleries around the world.
Laetitia, I just want to thank you so much for your time and for being a guest on this podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
If you would like further details about Laetitia, then please follow links in the show notes.